Call from Grace.
Grace, have we spoken before?
Yes. Yes. But I have a revenge story.
You have a revenge story. Please enlighten me, Grace. What is your revenge story?
I wanted my boyfriend to share his revenge stories because he's way more petty than I am, but he's being all shy.
He's being shy?
I don't know why.
He's shy?
No, he just doesn't want to tell me.
No, put him on the phone. Put him on the phone. I'll be nice to him. He won't.
Lyle wants to talk to you.
I'll be nice to him. I promise to be nice to him. I don't always promise I'll be nice, but I'll promise I'll be nice to him.
What's going on, Lyle?
What's your name?
Josh.
Josh, look, I really appreciate you. You know, look, I heard how shy you are. I heard you're a shy, fragile little boy. And so I just want you to know I'm going to be very careful with you. I'm not going to drop you. I'm going to hold you tight. I'm going to never let go.
Okay.
Because I love you very much. And look, I just really appreciate you hopping on the phone with me in spite of your bashfulness.
Okay.
I'm imagining you right now. You have big, bright, red, rosy cheeks.
Yeah, that's it.
And you're just the most adorable person I've ever talked to. Listen, Josh?
Yes.
Holy shit. I remembered that. Have you ever gotten revenge?
You know, so Grace is kind of putting me on the line right there. I have. I just can't remember them. I can tell you one I did remember just now, though.
Please.
So I was in class. This was, I believe, the 4th grade. And this one kid would always pick on me, right? He would always, like, throw stuff at, like, I don't know, he would, like, flick my ear or, like, throw pencils down my shirt, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this happened for, like, an entire year, right? And I was that kid who didn't want to get in trouble, so I'd just be like, all right, whatever. Till finally, one day, I forgot what he did, but he did something that really pissed me off. So, one day, he went to go sharpen his pencil, right? And I was like, all right, I'm going to get my revenge on this kid some way or another. So I got one of my pencils, right? And I it wasn't like a normal like pencil. It was like a lead pencil, mechanical pencil. Okay. So sure. I kind of took it out as like the lead out as far as I could, right? And so when this kid went to sit right back down, he would like, as soon as he was about to do something, I like went around and I just like stabbed him in the arm. And I was like, bro, never do anything to me again.
Interesting. You stabbed him. Did you penetrate the skin?
I did penetrate the skin. There was blood.
There was blood.
My enemies did suffer.
What was his reaction to being stabbed?
Oh, he was bitching about it. He was like, bro, why would you stab me? And I told him, I was like, because you've been, messing with me all year, buddy.
Bro, why would you stab? Man, I got to tell you, Josh, I'm very shocked because I thought you were a sweet, innocent little boy, but I had no idea you were capable of such malice.
I am, Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, she's worse.
Are you two still friends?
No, I have no idea what happened to that kid.
Do you think he's still alive?
I would hope so.
Because you can't go around just stabbing people and thinking that they might not try to take revenge out on you.
Oh, yeah, no. I still look over my shoulder to this day.
I'd continue to be careful, Josh. But I like your cover. I like what you're doing here. You're walking around with your little spinner hat and your lollipop as if you wouldn't hurt a fly. Someone will be looking to you as the person to get revenge on. I like that, Josh. Well, listen, thank you so much for sharing, and continue to watch your back.
Absolutely, Geck. You have a wonderful day.
You too.
What about my revenge story?
Therapy Gecko's on the line, taking your phone calls every night. Therapy Gecko's doing it right. He's teaching you how to live your life, but he's not really an expert.
Call from
Trent.
Trent.
Hello, my friend.
How are you, Trent?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
You're fantastic. Why are you fantastic? Anything particularly going on, or are you just saying that? Do you actually feel fantastic, or was that just sort of you wanted to respond enthusiastically to me?
I feel mildly fantastic. I just woke up from a nap and enjoying my day off.
What do you do on your days on?
I work at Guitar Center, and I'm also a musician on the side.
What kind of music do you play?
I'm in a psych rock band, as in of the psychedelic variety.
You sound exactly like all the things that you're saying right now.
Good. I'm glad.
I like, I like that because it would be weird. That would make sense.
That would make me an imposter. That would make me an imposter otherwise.
It's kind of like when you ever say something and someone says you would say that. Does that ever happen?
Yeah, I think that's happened before.
I hate that expression because everything I say is something I would say.
That's a fact. Yeah, that's just reality.
Listen, Trent, have you ever gotten revenge?
Yeah, I'm sure I have. I'm trying to think of a specific instance. Let me jog my memory here for a second.
Maybe someone came in, they stole one of your guitars, so you went to steal one of their guitars. Someone, you took acid, and a dog called you fat, and so you had tracked down the dog, but it wasn't a real dog.
That would be a story worth hearing, but I think my story is probably less than I'm not much of a vindictive person.
No, you don't sound it.
I've definitely been wronged before and had the idea of revenge. So I've had my house robbed before at a point in time where I was living a less than proper lifestyle, and I was on a mission to find out who did it, and I was gonna beat the living shit out of them, but I never made it around to it. The only instance that's coming to mind revenge-wise was shenanigans, middle school-wise.
When you say, by the way, a less than proper life, what do you mean by that?
Oh, you know. I've not always done the most socially acceptable things.
Socially acceptable by, what definition? I mean, were you living in a van? Were you living in a crack house? Socially acceptable on what level?
I basically operated a trap house.
Okay.
Of a variety.
Trap house for
selling illegal substances at a point in time.
Okay. The person that robbed you, were they sort of in your circle, someone you met via?
I believe it was someone that we were friends with who was an addict and robbed us for for our money and etc. And just out of jealousy, as people do.
And you don't do that anymore, right?
No.
I'm sorry, you were going to say something. You said he robbed you out of jealousy.
Oh yeah. When you're making money and doing things, people see that and want what you have. That's just an unfortunate part of human nature, I've found.
And you don't do these things anymore, right?
No, yeah, and hopefully it's outside the statute of limitations by now. That was a long time ago. So,
what got you out of the game, Trent?
Situations like that. That was not the only time our house got robbed either. So,
was that sort of the catalyst for change?
In that regard, yeah. I still did shitty things to myself for years to come, but hopefully past that part of life now. Your past life, is this something you talk about in your music at all? Oh yeah. See, I also have a solo project where I do like folk punk songs, and a lot of them about like depression, mental health, drug abuse, addiction, stuff like that. So It's a cathartic tool for sure.
Absolutely.
It's my therapy gecko, so to speak.
I like that. Where can we listen to your music, Trent?
I actually have a new album coming out on May 22nd, which is next week. It's called Fuck Till Payday.
Fuck
and that'll
Till
be
Payday.
Fuck Till Payday. You are correct.
Okay.
What do you think? How does that grab you?
I like it. It makes sense. I mean, don't you have trouble with like the getting into Spotify listings or whatever if you have "fuck" in the title?
No, Spotify is fully down with it. I go through like DistroKid, which is a online distribution site for like music purposes. That gets, you subscribe to that, and then you can get it out through Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, Twitch, etc. And then it collects revenue services for you and shit.
Before we go, briefly, what's the main sentiment that you want people to take away when they listen to Fuck Till Payday?
If you listen to it, just take a moment to reflect on life and all of its various circumstances and try and come away with something positive and, just don't be a dick.
Well, thank you so much for sharing, Trent. You have a good rest of the night.
Thank you, Lyle. You too.
Call from
Flora.
Flora?
Yeah, hi. Oh my god,
up,
I can't
Flora?
believe I got through.
How you doing? Tell me everything. Tell me nothing.
Good. Oh wait, sorry, what were you gonna ask?
Oh, I wasn't gonna ask anything.
Oh. Well, I have a good revenge story.
Please.
Okay. I had a really shitty neighbor in college. Woke me up at 2 a.m. one time, banging on my door. He was bleeding in his underwear. He wanted to borrow a screwdriver to take his bathroom door off the hinge. So, yeah, worst neighbor ever. And so I got the best petty revenge ever, which was one night him and
Wait a minute, hold on.
Beer pong.
I have to stop you right there. I want to hear the rest of your story, but all right. A thing of your neighbor knocks on your door to try to borrow a screwdriver late at night.
Mm-hmm.
I can see why that's annoying, but you completely just glossed over the part where he was bleeding from his underwear.
Oh, no, he was in his underwear. He was bleeding because he had tried to kick in his own bathroom door. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's how out of it he was.
Sure, that makes
just
sense.
a drunk frat guy. Drunk frat guy thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how did you enact your revenge on him?
I waited,
bleeding on
don't get
your
angry
floor.
in the moment. Yeah, don't get angry in
Leaving
the moment.
one of his testicles behind.
I wish that would have been the better revenge. But yeah, I waited till the next weekend whenever him and his frat guy friends got drunk again outside, and he left his TV outside, and I didn't take the TV. I just took the power cord. Just pulled the power cord out of the back of it, and then, just let him try and figure out what's going on.
That's interesting because that's just... It's not too extreme. It's not like I fucking smashed this guy's TV in.
Yeah, no, I'm not like that.
It's just annoying enough.
Yeah, gaslight
not too
himself.
expensive. Just annoying enough.
Yep. So that's my revenge story.
But I also believe that you fucked yourself. I actually, all in all, I believe you did yourself a disservice because you know what's going to happen, Flora.
Lay it on me.
You know what's going to happen is a bloody, pussy, jizzy, sweaty, your neighbor is going to, covered in jizz and blood and sweat and cum, is going to knock on your door at 3 o'clock in the morning saying, hey, can I borrow a power cable for my TV? And then in that moment, you're going to be like, damn, I wish I had just let it go.
I've moved since then, but, that doesn't sound like a bad time, though. It's like another story. It's another chapter.
Well, listen, Flora, before we go, how are the new neighbors?
Much better. Much, much better. Not that crazy. 10 out of 10.
10 out of
Never
10.
had
Would
a
you lend
neighbor
them a
like that
screwdriver
again.
if they came to you at 3 o'clock in the morning?
I would help them with whatever they needed the screwdriver for.
I'm absolutely thrilled to hear that, Flora. Thank you so much for sharing.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me on, Geck.
Have a good night.
Call from
Garrison.
Garrison?
Hello, Gecko.
Hey, Garrison.
What's up, Geck?
Not a whole lot. What's up with you?
Oh, man. I just want to talk about revenge, man. I think I got a revenge story for you.
Okay, tell me.
All right, dog. So, all right, we're going to go way back deep on this one. So when I was young, I went to, like, this daycare, right? So both my parents worked. So I was at this place kind of like all day. It's kind of like Lord of the Flies, but for kids. And, you know, we just kind of ran around and shit got wild. And there's this guy, and we'll call him Max, right? And Max was a lot bigger than me. Like, I was just like a little kid.
Hey, you're cutting out a little bit here and there.
Oh, dog, my bad. I'm walking around.
I can tell you're excited. Oh,
Yeah,
it's a little
man.
bit better.
I'm charged up.
Okay, all right. So you're in a daycare facility that has very little to no adult surveillance.
Yeah, this is think about like Baby Lord of the Flies. It's pretty accurate metaphor.
Baby Lord of the Flies. I'm noticing a trend wherein you know a lot of our revenge stories are about things that happened you know in people's youth, which I think is good. I talked earlier at the very beginning of the stream about how I don't really have my current thoughts about revenge, but I think one thing I've learned is that as maturity increases, desire for revenge tends to decrease. If I had to make a judgment based upon the data that I've received this evening. Okay, so you were at the thing. You were at a daycare center.
Yeah. So this guy was just bigger than me, man. Like he's just an asshole. Like everything I brought there, he would just take from me if he liked it, or
For sure.
like if I like Pokemon, like I like the Pokemon games on my Game Boy, and like if he wanted to play it, man, he would just come up and take it, like whenever he wanted.
He commandeered you through force.
Yeah, he was bigger than me. Like he just was a straight up bully.
Sure.
And so time goes on, and I don't really see him or think about him that much. And but this went on, for days and weeks and months, and it just, it kind of took its toll. Then years go by. I go to middle school, or elementary school, middle school, high school, and I get pretty big, man. Like I become, I played, competitive football, went to D1 football college. So in high school, I was a big dude. Walking through the cafeteria one day in my high school, and there was 1,000 kids in my graduating class. And so there was a lot of kids in this cafeteria, and I was just walking, and like in that crowd, I saw this kid. I saw Max. And I don't know how I saw him. I don't know what made him stand out to me, but like deep down, dog, I knew this was Max.
Okay.
And so I don't even know, like I didn't even hesitate. I just knew something had to be done. And so I told the guy I was walking with, I was like, hold on, man. And so I just march over there, and he was eating pudding.
Sure.
And I tapped him on the shoulder. Yeah, And so I tapped him on the shoulder, and he looked over and I said, "Are you Max?" And he looked up, and I'm a behemoth now, and this kid is like still a shrimp. He's almost the same size.
Okay.
Right? And so immediately in his eyes got big. And I looked at him, and I said, "Do you remember me?" And he kind of like nodded. And I just took his head, and I just shoved it into his pudding cup like as hard as I could.
Wow, that's horrible. I hate that.
Yeah, I don't feel good about it, right? So my revenge resulted in me becoming the thing that I was revenging against.
Interesting. Now, well, here's why I hate this is because, to carry on, what's the difference here? His initial bullying of you was when you were in elementary school.
Right.
And then in high school, to carry those emotions for that long.
And I can't describe it.
That's take a toll on you.
Yeah.
That's not productive for anyone.
Well, you don't even know you have those emotions until you're in the moment and those emotions show up out of nowhere. And I didn't even know I thought about that part of my life.
Listen, man, I've had people, in middle school, I had people, with whom I had contentious relationships. And then later on in my life, as we mature, I sort of rendezvous with them. We actually become friends. I mean, that feels so much better than to, shove this guy's face in his pudding cup for no reason.
Oh, right. It's not something I'm proud of. Again, I mean, like you said earlier, as we mature, we want to. This is not behavior we typically chase, right? So I don't feel good about it, but it's almost like when I got done with it, I didn't even know I had done it until it was over. I couldn't even think.
This seems to me as though you just kind of, I don't know, have this impulsive nature.
I don't know. I wouldn't say necessarily impulsive, but I think I follow I guess maybe. I mean, I just know that it's like I didn't even know when I walked over there that's what I was going to do, but I just knew something had to be done to this guy. And that was just a feeling I followed over there.
Well, how did he react?
He didn't really. Everyone kind of acted confused because, like you said, this is a pretty deep-seated grudge. And I walked away, and I don't think I ever saw him again.
That could have been a friendship.
It could have.
You could have used him as an ally. Maybe it still can. How old are you now?
I'm 29, so this was a long time ago.
Okay. And how old is he? Probably also 29. Maybe you'll run into each other one day and you'll rekindle.
I hope so. Just the main message for me was the revenge I took ended up in me being the thing that I was upset about to begin with, and it's just a vicious cycle that can happen.
Well, before we go, do you feel as though you are still that thing now?
No, absolutely not.
Good. What would you say you are now?
I would say I'm a more inward-looking person. Not as rash, not as hot-headed. I think that, I don't sugarcoat things even for myself. I'm pretty realistic. That's why I don't mind talking about stuff like this when saying, I'm not that person anymore.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you move on. I'm glad to hear that you've realized the error of your ways. I'm glad to hear that you have changed who you are as a result of reevaluating your past decisions.
That's all we can do.
If we're not embarrassed of our past selves, it means we're not growing. So I commend you. What's your name was?
Garrison.
You have a good rest of the night, Garrison.
You too, Geck.
Call from
Emma.
Emma!
Hello, Gecko.
Oh, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm a gecko on the computer, Emma.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. I did not think I was going to get on.
Look, Emma, I need you just for both of our sake to be a little bit less excited, because here's the thing. I can't promise you that this will go well. I can't promise you. I just try to set your expectations. See, the way that you said "oh" just now, and I could like a downward trend of your excitement. That's perfect. That's exactly where we want to be.
Okay, I'm there.
Listen, Emma, have you ever gotten revenge on someone?
Revenge. I don't think so. I don't know. There are some people I would like to get revenge on, but I probably will not act upon it.
There are people you'd like to get revenge on. Tell me about someone who you'd like to get revenge on.
Well, I don't know. It's just like, I just try to move past it, so I'm not really hung up on it too much, but I don't know. I just think about some people that, may have hurt my feelings in the past, and I don't know.
Emma, who's the last person that hurt your feelings?
Well, I dated this guy for 2 years, and he hurt my feelings pretty bad. We just broke up a few months ago. Yeah.
Did he hurt? Why? What was the cause of the breakup, if you don't mind me asking?
He's a jerk, but there's a lot of things that led up to it. Some serious things, but the one that finally broke the camel's back was that he was just talking to too many other girls. I couldn't deal with it.
You felt like you were being held on reserve or something like that.
Yeah, but it was like, that was supposed to be like the number one, like first team.
Well, did you go into this with sort of, was it an open relationship in which, the agreements allow you to talk to other people, or was it fully closed?
No, it was closed. Like, if I was to talk to someone else, it would be a big problem, which it has been, even afterwards, because I was like, okay, well, if you don't want to date me, then, I'm going to go and find a new man. And I did, and, he was upset about that.
And how are things going with him?
The new boy, really good. Great.
Good.
Way better. So I think that's kind of revenge in itself, too.
I like that. I think that that's a good way of getting revenge, to move on amicably, to find a new relationship, or even to invest more in yourself as you move forward into your life.
Yeah. I think I'm also investing in myself right now, because this guy is a lot nicer to me, too, and it's just, I feel happier. I feel like that's...
Well, I'm happy to hear that, Emma. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really glad I got to share with you, Lyle.
I'm glad we got to talk too. I'm a gecko on the computer. I never thought this would happen in a million years, and it did.
I really love what you do. It's awesome. I listen to your podcast like all day, every day. I'm catching up.
Hell yeah. Well, thank you so much for being a part of the Geck Nation, Emma. I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, I would love to talk again.
Call from
Sam.
Sam.
Hey, what's up?
How old are you, Sam?
19.
You're 19.
Yep.
You're 19,000 years old. That's very old. You might be older than the Great Wall of China.
Definitely. I have two revenge stories. One of them has to do with laxatives, and the other one has to do with an old teacher of mine. Which one would you like to hear?
Chat, what do we want to hear? Do we want to hear about the laxatives or the teacher?
While they're deciding, I'm telling you right now, I would not recommend investing in cryptocurrency. On a large scale, it's not very controllable. What has always been worth value is precious metals and property. So I would say buy a plot of land or something, or get some silver or gold. That's always
What's
going to be
silver
worth money.
going for these days?
By the ounce or by the pound? Usually it's bought in ounces.
Just silver.
Silver, right now for an ounce, it's about $27. Last May when I bought some, it was $19. And it seems to be going up again.
You know what's cool about, I think, buying gold?
What's that?
Is you get to own gold.
Yeah, I have a little bit of gold, and I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, I have a little bit of gold.
You feel pretty powerful.
It makes you feel
like a
mythical.
Pirate.
It makes you feel like you're a dragon or something.
Or a gecko.
Or a leprechaun.
Fair enough.
Tell me the laxative story.
Okay, laxative story. So back in high school, for 4 years, I worked in a steakhouse. It was a small steakhouse. I come from a small area. So it was 3 cooks in the back, 4 waitresses, and 1 guy up front. The 1 guy up front, he would, let's just call him Mark for this, not his actual name. Mark would like to drink about 13 Dr. Peppers every single shift. And the thing is, our boss said, you can have it pop and everything just, without having to pay for it. Just keep it to a reasonable amount.
Sure.
After 3 weeks of 13 Dr. Peppers a day, they decided to charge every single employee $1 for every can. And this honestly pissed us all off because we were having like 1, maybe 2 cans. So what we decided to do is I set a trap for him. I know where he kept the Dr. Pepper he drank from. So me and the 2 guys in the back on a slow day, we got some X-Lax from the store across the street, made a super concentrated dose, and cracked open a can of his Dr. Pepper and mixed it in. Somehow he was stupid enough to see an open can of Dr. Pepper and say, "Hey, this looks safe. Let's drink that."
Sure.
We were waiting for it to kick in. We didn't know how strong it was. We're all giggling like a bunch of assholes in back of the kitchen. So we were sitting there. All of a sudden, he's checking someone out from the restaurant. And all of a sudden, you just see his face. Like his soul left from his eyes and was about to shoot out his ass. Like, he then admitted to us years later, after this is all funny in the end, he shit himself, his pants there, shit himself while walking back to the kitchen, and then completely destroyed the toilet in the back.
I don't understand why. All right, so he drank so much Dr. Pepper that he ruined the free Dr. Pepper party. And
he was an ass. I should have prefaced that. He was also an ass. This is just the final nail in the coffin.
Okay, because because look, having to pay $1. First of all, $1 for a can of Dr. Pepper, incredibly reasonable.
Yes, but then you see the wages we made at that restaurant and how much they bought it for. It wasn't. But still, no, he was an ass before this.
Did he do anything to you besides the Dr. Pepper? Because that seems kind of, not that bad.
Excessive. Yeah, we thought that too, and then we realized he would show up late to about every single shift. He was a family member of the people who owned the restaurant who were never there, so we really couldn't touch him. He could do whatever he wanted to, and he would still make about $5 more than us an hour.
What did you do to the teacher? Now I'm curious.
Okay, the teacher. I prefer the story. No.
Okay, good.
No. I'm legally stating right now.
Okay, good.
No
because
permanent harm to the teacher.
I think there's going to come a time where someone's going to call into the stream.
Is anybody recording this in the chat?
They're going to confess to me that they've murdered someone, and I want to make sure right now that doesn't happen, because then I'm going to be an accomplice to it, and I don't want to get involved in anyone's court case or anything. So
I am 100%
tell me
right
about
now.
this person that you didn't kill, but you did something else to them that was not as bad.
Okay, let's call her Mrs. Roberts for this. This isn't her actual name. So this was 8th grade year, end of middle school. We were feeling pretty good. We were about to go to high school, and this one teacher, she was known for being absolutely the meanest teacher that any of us ever knew. I didn't even go to a Catholic school, and she acted like a Catholic teacher. Like, she would, if you fell asleep in class, and God help her, that entire fucking history class with a giant snooze book, she would smack your fingers with a yardstick. If you weren't paying attention, like looking out the window, she'd smack you in the back of the head with a yardstick.
Sure.
Then she would call one time a kid caught the stick and threw it, called the principal, who she may call the police and say the kid tried to attack her.
Wait, hold on. That's totally badass. She would hit people with a stick, and then the kid just took the stick?
Yeah, no. It was honestly like that.
That's sick.
What is it? Ultimate Instinct?
Right.
He just,
well, I mean,
got fed up with
how long ago? Was this in the fucking 1950s? You can't hit kids with a stick as a teacher.
No, she was an older teacher, and it was a small school, and it
so
kind of
got away with it. What the fuck?
Yeah, no, it was a bad principal, bad system at the time. In the last 2 years before that, we had a lot of new teachers and faculty move around, so no one was really paying attention.
Dude, where do you live? Like in America?
Midwest.
Does just no one give a shit out there?
It's not that we don't give
anything?
a shit. We just seem to be tougher because we have so many freaking teachers smacking us with sticks.
Okay, so what did you do to the teacher?
So we set up somewhat of a sting operation. All of us who had iPhones, we set it up in our jackets or shirts, like taped into our chest or something, hit record to the camera. It was shooting, like it was sticking out of one of our buttonholes or something on our shirt, so we could see it in front of us. For a whole day, and this was one of the worst days, one of the students tried to provoke her to do something, and then we she did a bunch of stuff. She hit kids. She would chuck sticks at people, all sorts of stuff. And then she would just yell and scream at the kids for doing nothing.
Okay.
Then we ended up sending it to the cops. We brought it straight to the sheriff's office. And not only did she get fired, but she got brought up in a court where we had to be witnesses for it on child abuse in the school. And then it ended up being about the entire class.
The way that the story was phrased was a lot more
I kind of
mischievous. Then you were abused by your teacher and you called the police on her. But you made it seem like you were going to like put bubble gum in her something. Yeah, I don't know.
No, she was just a mean old lady. But
well, I'm glad that she can't hit kids anymore.
Nope. I'm pretty sure she got out of prison about a year ago or so. I cannot remember.
Oh, well, she's coming for your ass. You should I hope they put you in a witness protection program, or else you're gonna wake up in the middle of the night with a yardstick up your ass, my friend.
Dude, she's got to be like 93 at this point. I don't know why she was still teaching.
Well, listen, thank you for sharing that story, and I hope that you live to I hope that she doesn't kill you with a stick.
As do I, but I'll be ready. Have a good day,
Gecko.
You
will. You too, man. Take care.
Bye.
Call from Mariah.
Mariah?
Hello?
Hey, what's up, Mariah?
How are you?
I'm a gecko, Mariah.
Oh, that's wonderful. I actually have to turn my sound off. Hold on one second.
It's, it is nice. It's good. I think when I don't know how long I'll live, but if I'm like 80, I think when I look back on my life, I'll be like, I had that time in my life in which I was a gecko. Maybe I'll be a gecko until I die, but at the very least, I've carved out this amount of time of my life to be a gecko. I don't know how long it'll last.
I've never thought about that. I've never Googled how long a gecko lives.
Well, how long do you think you're gonna live? When do you think when do you want to die? How old are you now?
I'm 29.
You're 29, and how much longer you want to go?
I've made it so much further than I thought.
That's good. Okay, so everything's just a bonus for you now.
At this point, yeah.
That's kind of how I feel too. Like, you ever read it? Like, sometimes I'll read about, like in less developed countries where like the lifespan is shorter, and I'm like, damn, I feel like I got everything else is a bonus. Like, why should I get to live longer than this guy who died?
Yeah, or like in the past, I feel like people used to be like, oh my gosh, you're 29, you're old.
I mean, when you think, if you say the average human lives to 80, I feel like 29 is pretty... You're not even halfway there yet, dude.
Yeah,
you might be. You might actually be like 99% of the way there if you got hit by a car tomorrow.
Oh my God, right. I'm like a heavy smoker, so...
Do you like being 29?
It's fine. I'm glad I'm not in my early 20s during the pandemic.
Oh, why is that?
Because I got to have more fun then, so I got that out of my system a little bit.
What did you do during the pandemic as a 29-year-old?
You know what? I really got into flowers and plants.
Flowers and plants. It's good. It's good to have a hobby. Do you have a job of any kind?
I do.
What's
I'm
your job?
actually
Or
a
does it involve
hairdresser.
flowers and plants? That's awesome.
It doesn't. I'm a hairstylist, so...
You're a hairstylist.
So sort of, but not really.
I guess a hair grows in the same way that a plant does.
I guess, yeah. It can all be art.
I think so too. I think there's kind of an art to everything if you think about it.
I guess.
What's your name again?
Mariah.
Mariah,
Yes.
have you ever gotten revenge?
Oh my God, yes. But I would not super be able to share what it was. But it was good. It was good.
What, Mariah? What the hell? Why would you?
I know. I feel so bad. I know.
I'm mad at you.
I know. I know.
What did you do? Tell us.
Well, the first thing was terrible, but then the second thing helped me get my husband. So I'm okay about the second thing.
All right, tell what's the first thing?
Oh, see, the first thing is the one that would just be like, but I will say that has been sort of resolved. So with getting the revenge, there was healing.
What did you do?
So it was not super safe. So it wasn't the best thing to say to you right now, Geck, but it is something that at this point I'm healed from, which is good.
Is it dangerous?
A little bit, but it was family stuff. So
did you kill
it's one
someone?
of those things you get stuck with. No, it was super awesome. I didn't kill anyone.
Wow, what do we? What's your Mariah? Mariah, why would you call in to tell me that you can't tell me a story?
Okay, so there was a situation where something was not pointy, and I didn't expect it to stick, but it did stick.
What did you
do?
do?
So it was not intended to be violent. It was like a fork situation.
What did you do?
Pretty much just that. That's the most I could say.
Okay, you stabbed someone.
No.
Who did you stab? Wait, why did you stabbing someone result in you being with your husband now?
No, that's the second thing. So that's a whole different, completely kind of revenge, but that ended up being happy as well. Both things ended up being really happy.
Wait, so these things aren't related?
No, completely unrelated.
All right, so you stabbed someone for what did the person you stabbed do to you to make you stab them?
It was actually self-defense, thank God. So I was okay. It was a fight situation.
You got into a fight.
Yes, it was domestic, yes.
Ah, okay, sure. All right, so what happened with your husband? What was the second thing?
So the second thing was just weird because I started dating, so I'm 29 now, but I started dating my husband at 16. So at that time, there were a lot of shenanigans and hijinks that happened before that.
What kind of shenanigans and hijinks?
Oh my gosh, there was just a whole world of shenanigans and hijinks, which again makes me happy that I got to do all those fun things and end up being happy and settled now.
So you guys were, you've been with your husbands for 13 years.
Yes.
Okay, rock and roll. Is it going well?
It's going really well. Yeah, we just had our 3-year wedding anniversary.
Congratulations. Wait, what was the revenge?
Oh, the revenge was basically stealing him back from someone, the take back.
Stealing him back from someone?
Yes, when we were 16.
Tell me that story.
So that was, I'm happy that we're talking about this, actually. I'm sure I need to talk about this for a while, but that was just a very, very, very boring person. And all in all, it ended up not being a super happy or exciting situation for him. So he came back, and it was really wonderful, and it ended up being such a happy thing.
I don't know if that's necessarily revenge or stealing.
Happiness is.
I don't like. I'll make the same observation that I made with the other guy. I don't like the idea of you stole him or he was someone.
I stole his heart.
I don't know. It just feels possessive
Not to interrupt,
me.
Geck. I stole
Interrupt
his heart.
away.
Oh no! Come on! I would never interrupt you. I feel really bad. I'm listening.
You just said not to interrupt. You can interrupt me. I don't care.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
That's very sweet. But no, I feel like I definitely stole his heart.
Like you took it by force?
No. I don't think, because he's one of those people that just does not do stuff that he doesn't want to do also, which is good.
Okay. In what way do you believe you stole his heart?
I feel like because of all of the theatrics, and again, some of the things that we've talked about leading up to it, there could have been so many times where I didn't steal his heart and he still is here, which is happy.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I mean, look, 13 years, you've probably ironed out all the kinks by now.
Yes. There's always new ones, but...
Are you guys going to have a kid or something?
You know, I have no idea. People always ask that, though.
Do you want kids?
I think I do, actually.
It's funny that, you guys started dating. Was he also 16?
Yes.
Okay. It's funny you guys started dating when you were 16 because when I go live on TikTok, there's a lot of younger people that are type in the chat I'm going to college and with my boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever, and I always tell them I don't know shit. I'm a dumb green guy, but I always feel like 16 is a little young. I mean, it worked out for you, which is interesting because I always feel like 16 is a little young to be like, this is it. This is who I am.
I could not have expected that, so you're totally right.
I'm totally right?
Yes, yeah, because I couldn't have expected that at 16 that was going to happen.
Well, it worked out for you.
Yes, yeah. It's just funny to look back at. It's like, oh.
Do you feel as though you got lucky?
100%.
Well, listen, Mariah?
Yes.
Thank you so much for calling in and sharing with us.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy I got to talk to you.
Of course. You have a wonderful evening.
Oh, you as well. Bye.
Call from
Jay.
Jay.
Hey, Geck.
What do you think about investing in hamburgers and hot dogs?
I mean, as long as you're getting 2 patties for $1, that's a good deal.
Well, I think so, right? The logic makes sense.
Yeah, you're literally getting 2 cheeseburgers on a singular bun. I am actually not at all surprised that we are talking right now.
You're not? Why not?
Because I called you.
What's your name?
Jay.
Jake.
Jay. Just J-A-Y.
Jay, have we spoken before, Jay?
No. Long time lurker, first time calling 40 times in one night.
Well, holy hell, Jay, it's a pleasure to finally meet you. How you doing, man?
Yeah, absolutely. Geck, I'm doing good. I'm in therapy right now.
You're in therapy, right? You're in therapy right now?
Right now, I'm talking to a therapy gecko.
Well, you're in therapy Gecko, which is far different from therapy, but we can talk about bugs and shit.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. What's Jake?
Jay, yeah.
What's the worst thing you've ever done in your entire life?
I'm a petty asshole. I got revenge stories, so I can give you one that's sexual in nature or criminal in nature, or I can give you both.
Both of the. I'm actually terrified to continue this conversation.
No, there's no liability towards any of these things.
Will the sexual revenge story be weird and bad?
No, it's a common story that I'm surprised I haven't heard from before tonight. I'm surprised that with all the callers we had tonight that no one has done something similar, because I feel like it's fairly common.
Well, sure. Let me hear it.
Okay, so obviously, when you move in with your friends and you become roommates, sometimes you become ex-friends for various reasons, too many dishes in the sink, not paying bills on time. So I had an ex-best friend, but I remained friends with that group of people, and I ended up sleeping with his current girlfriend at the time. So my revenge from getting thrown, dissolving this relationship of the friendship was to get revenge by sleeping with his girl at the time. And we slept together for a while. Do you know how long we slept together? We basically we fucked till payday.
Wait, so you? Oh, is this real?
Yeah, no, this is a real story.
Wait, so
I just had to tie it in.
Okay, so this doesn't make sense to me. What? Okay, so your friend has a girlfriend.
Yeah, it was an ex-friend at this time. So we were friends, became ex-friends, and the ex-friend.
And then his girlfriend cheated on him with you.
Correct. So again, very simple. I feel like that story should have been told 100 times before I even called in. I feel like I'm not the only one who's enacted that type of revenge.
I don't know if. Why did you do this? I don't understand. So what was your motive in?
I feel that half of it was our primal nature to reproduce and have sex with other humans on this planet, but the other half was motivated by spite, therefore making it revenge sex. The other one that I have is a little bit more wholesome in nature. So when I was in high school, I was a little bit,
What? Do you still talk to this friend?
No. Like I said, it's an ex best friend. We weren't friends at the time. If we were friends at the time, I would never sleep with this girl. But I was enacting revenge, the theme of the night.
What do you still do these things? Do you still go out?
This was about 10 years ago. This is about 10 years ago.
Okay,
I mean,
10 years.
I am.
Okay, so this was 10 years. This was 10 years ago. Looking back on it, 10 years later, how do you feel in retrospect about this?
I feel like I was basically like a karmic Judge Dredd, only with my penis instead of a gun. If that makes sense.
It doesn't make a ton of sense, but a karmic Judge Dredd.
Yeah, I mean, Judge Dredd was judge, jury, and executioner right there on the spot. I was similar to that, but instead of killing the person, I just simply slept with his girlfriend.
Well,
the other one's a little bit more wholesome. So when I was in high school, I was the weird kid. I was bullied by the jock. Classic story. Disney movies were made by it.
What are you now?
Now I'm a well-rounded, weird individual. But at the time, I was slightly fringe at that moment. So,
I think the case could be made that you're still a little fringent.
Hey, I'm working on it. I'm in therapy.
Okay, good.
So anyway, after months and months of bullying, probably years at this point, I said, you know what? I know where this person lives. I will enact some revenge for my mental anguish in high school. So I went over to his house and pulled the classic sugar into the gas tank, and then I put glue all over the hood of their car, and then threw glitter at that glue and created an art project out of their expensive vehicle. And again,
what does sugar in the gas tank mean?
So, it's a Less Than Jake song is where the inspiration comes from, but sugar dissolves gasoline. So when someone goes to start their car, the sugar through the fuel system and dissolves and eats all the gasoline. Sugar and gasoline react in a corrosive nature. So when sugar enters your gas tank, it was a very common prank back in the day that it's an art form that has been lost. So it was something that I was able to, kind of a little bit of renaissance, if you will.
Jay, when you tell these things to your real therapist, what do they tell you?
They said that'll be $3.99 a month and $25 for $8 each session, and they tell you what you want to hear, man. I mean, I don't know. I feel that therapy is just kind of, if you tell them one thing, you can almost extract the answer that you want to hear to reinforce your own bullshit. I mean, you can guide the conversation to a point where you're going to be told what you want to hear, so therefore you continue with their program, and what continue with their program is to continue to contribute to them financially.
Do you think I'm doing that to you?
Well, you haven't asked me for any money. I will give you my credit card number while I go over the phone right now if you'd like, but you have not asked me for anything.
Okay. No, we can cop this one. Well, listen, Jay, I hope things continue to go well for you and in your therapy.
It was a pleasure chatting with you, Lyle. Like I said, I'm not surprised at all that we called.
Jay.
Alrighty,
well,
buddy.
You have a good night.
Yeah, enjoy yours.
Call from
Max.
Geck, I'm here.
You're here?
I'm here.
What does it mean to be here?
Wow. You already stumped me. I didn't think it would happen this quick.
Well, here it is. Life comes at you fast, Max.
It certainly does, Geck.
So here we are. We're just two people on the phone with each other.
One person's in a Gecko suit, and I'm wearing regular clothes.
We're on a thing. You're in a Gecko. But at the end of the day, Max, if I could just sort of melt away all of the external things surrounding this conversation and focus on the conversation itself, I feel like we can really sort of inhabit the same space a little bit better.
Absolutely. We can be two brains interlinked.
Max, have you gotten revenge?
I just recently got revenge and reversed revenge.
You got reverse revenge?
I got reverse revenge.
I have never heard of the reverse revenge. Well, let's start with the revenge. How did you get revenge? Let's start with the wronging. What was the wronging initially?
The wronging was, I used to do a thing called klepto clubbing, where I would go to parties and I would I would steal something from their house, like something strange, like barbecue pliers, or like where I go in the fridge and take their cranberry juice, like just weird shit. And so my friends started to catch on to that. So we were at a party at the radio station I worked at, and someone had stolen a girl's Harley Quinn poster. And I assisted with that. So that was the wrong.
You assisted. What part? How? I feel like stealing a poster is a one-person job.
It is a one-person job, but if you have to distract the girl while they take the poster, and you know that she has feelings for you, not exactly right.
Okay, so did you get a cut of the poster? Did you get like a pigtail, maybe a corner?
No, I had no interest in it.
You play the game for the game itself.
Yeah, I was playing the game for the love of the sport.
Gotcha.
So it was like 2 years ago that happened. So recently, I had ended up dating the girl. We broke up, and then I remembered, like, oh yeah, they stole that. So what I did is I snuck into their house, and I stole the poster back, and I returned it to the girl. So that was the reverse revenge.
Interesting. See, okay, that took a different turn, because when you said you got reverse revenged, I thought it meant you got revenge on someone and then they got revenge on you for your revenge, but you actually literally reversed your revenge.
I did.
But hold on now. So you stole a poster and you gave it back?
Yeah, kinda. In a way, sure. I mean, I assisted in stealing the poster, and then I stole the poster back and then returned it. So there was like 3 stealings.
But what was stealing the poster revenge for?
Oh, she was being shitty to everyone,
What was your main beef with her?
She was just shitty to people in the group. So
she was shitty to people in the group.
Yeah, like I worked at a radio station, and there's.
So if this person was shitty to you, and you wanted to enact revenge by stealing one of their things, why the change of heart? Why did you eventually give it back?
I don't know. I think I just had the realization of, like, that's kind of fucked up. Not in a huge way, but it was something that I knew I could do to set a couple things right before, I'd leave.
Okay, karmatically.
Karmatically, I wanted to set things in balance.
But, I mean, you're going to have to kind of do a little bit of a my name is Earl here, because, I mean, it sounds to me like this was not an isolated incident. You said you are in your words, you said klepto thief?
Klepto, yeah, sure.
You said you were a klepto thief.
Yeah, it was like klepto clubbing.
So you have an extensive history of stealing things. So you're kind of go back. If you really want to balance yourself out karmatically, you actually have to. I hope you kept track of all of your heists, because you're going to have to go re-gift.
I guess I got to buy some more cranberry juice.
Yeah. Well, listen, good luck on that journey.
All right. Thanks, Geck. I'll do it.
Of course. You have a good night.
Call from
Joe.
Joe.
How's it going, Geck?
You know, Joe, that rhymes.
Yeah, it does. A lot of stuff rhymes with Joe. It's a good name.
Can you name 10 things that rhyme with Joe right now, off the top of your head?
Flow, go, bro, dro, crow.
Wait, dro's not a word.
Dro? Alright.
Dro is not a word. D-R-O-W?
D-R-O? Like dro? Like weed?
Sure.
Alright. Well, what's going on, Geck? I got a good revenge
That's
story
only
for
4.
you.
We need 6 more words that rhyme with Drew.
Wait,
alright. What's your name again? Joe. It's
Joe.
6 more words that rhyme with Drew. I mean, that rhyme with Joe.
Blow, crow, mow, toe, fro, glow. Is that 6?
Low? You said low?
I said grow and glow.
We've spent too much time on this. Joe, where do we go when we die?
Man, I'd like to find out. I mean, I'm not too eager to find out, but I'm curious as the rest of us, you know?
Are you? How curious are? I feel like, is the average person that curious?
I don't know. I feel like everyone's got some sort of underlying curiosity, but I would say probably not. I guess the majority of people do their best to distract themselves and keep themselves from wondering what actually happens when we die.
What do you do to distract yourself from thinking about what happens when we die?
Oh, shit, man. I don't know. I like to skateboard. I play kendama. I got a bunch of frogs that I like to, play around with.
You have a bunch of frogs. Like how many frogs?
I got 6 right now. I'm trying to breed them.
You have 6 frogs?
Yeah, poison dart frogs.
You have 6 poisonous frogs?
Well, yeah, they're not poisonous. They're the poison dart frogs, so they're real colorful and stuff, but they're not poisonous because they were bred in captivity, so.
Theoretically, what would happen if you were to lick one of them?
I don't think anything would happen. I think I'd be fine. I've touched them before. I've handled them.
See, I don't like frogs because, okay, like I could pet a gecko because a gecko has dry, scaly skin, but a frog is like wet.
Yeah, they're not real like cuddly or friendly or real easy to play with, you know. Yeah,
what are you gonna do with the? So you're trying to breed them? I mean, what are you gonna do with them?
Either like.
Are you gonna keep going until you have 100 frogs?
I don't know, man. I mean, I'd like to have a whole collection of a bunch of different species and stuff, but I mean, if I get enough or if I successfully breed them, either sell them or keep them, or we'll see.
Well, Joe, if you want, I'd be willing to join your collection for an observative fee.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll shoot you a message or a call then whenever I get some baby frogs.
Cool. You could. I haven't been neutered, so if you want to breed me, I don't know if you could breed me with one of the frogs. I don't know if that would work, but
I don't know if gecko frog interbreeding works, but we can find out.
Well, thank you so much for offering that opportunity to me, Joe. I really appreciate it.
Good. I hope it's a once in a lifetime for you.
Yeah, me too. You have a good night.
Wait, you want to hear my revenge story?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
So I worked at this summer camp a couple of years ago for like little kids, like 3rd graders through 5th graders. And I was like a student teacher basically in these classrooms. And there was this one class that I had to help out with all summer that was like this young architect builder class kind of deal where all these fucking 3rd graders would get together and then I would have to assist them with like building these model houses and model buildings and stuff like that. And this one day, this one kid was like putting together his house and he was like, "Hey Joe, can you come over here and help me out with my house?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, no problem." So I go up to his little work table there and I put my hands down on the table and lean over to help him. And I put my hand in a fucking huge puddle of hot glue. Why they have these 3rd graders working with hot glue by themselves, I mean, that's beyond me. But I put my hand down.
Grow up somehow, dude.
I know. I mean, I put my hand in this giant puddle of hot glue, scalded my hand, got this giant, like, 4-inch blister on my palm, and was just, like, refraining from freaking out, you know, in front of all these third graders and stuff. But, yeah, this fucking kid just, like, scalded my hand and, you know, put my hand out of commission for a good 3 weeks.
What'd you do to get revenge on the kid?
Well, there was like 20 kids. I fucking wanted to. But there was like 20 kids or so in this class, and I was like, you know, I mean, this dude had been giving me issues just like, this wasn't the first time. I mean, he was like pretty rambunctious and like, you know, always just being like more than just a distraction. I mean, I was a distraction.
So how did you get back at him?
I talked to the teacher and to like the head of the camp, and I was like, look, this kid's a straight up fucker, and like is just like, I didn't mention him burning my hand on hot glue thing. I was just like, yeah, this kid's like a bully to other kids. He's a distraction to the class. He like slows everything down.
Oh, you told on him.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, like, I wouldn't consider myself to be a snitch, but I got this kid fucking booted.
What I would have done is I would have, you know, every kid brings their lunch into school or whatever. I would have gone into his cubby during recess or whatever, right before lunch, and I would have taken out his peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I would have spread a bunch of glue on it.
That would be, honestly, probably better revenge than getting him booted out of the class.
Well, next time a third grader pisses you off, you know what to do.
Yeah, hopefully I don't have to deal with any fucker third graders anymore, so...
Well, thank you so much for sharing, Joe. You have a wonderful rest of the night.
Yeah, you too, man.
Call from
Chris.
Chris.
Hello.
Hey.
Holy cow. Never thought I'd get on this.
Everyone keeps calling in and then telling me that they never thought they would get on there. If you called in, then there's a chance you'll get on.
Yes, but the problem in lies is that when you call, it's as if there's like, you only have a very slim chance. Like, it must have asked me 15 times in the automation if, what's your name? State your name. I stated it, it would ring, and then your automated voicemail would come on, and that was it.
Listen, Chris, that's all in the past now. Together, you and I are in the present, and I would like to hear from you. Have you ever gotten revenge?
You know, I actually haven't gotten revenge. I just wanted to call, and I'm not a vengeful kind of guy. You know what I mean? I don't.
You're not a vengeful guy.
I don't seek out reasons to have revenge for somebody. Does that make sense?
Makes a little bit of sense. I mean, I think that's good.
I think it's good. I think that, you know, if somebody does me wrong or has done me wrong, for example, in my day-to-day at work or in personal life, I'm just the kind of guy to kind of like remaneuver, re-strategize, and kind of, you know, figure out a way to kind of be successful despite that situation. Does that make sense?
We got two nice people in a row who would never hurt a fly, never exact revenge on anyone.
Well, no, I would. It's just I haven't had that situation happen. Like, for example.
Well, let me ask you then something. Let me ask you then something, Chris. What would someone have to do to you to get you to be vengeful?
That's a good question. Okay, so here's the problem with me. Okay, this is a good problem to have, but it's also a bad problem. You can push me, you can come at me, you can talk shit about me, you can, you know, talk shit behind my back, and really, I'm not going to ever get to a point where I want to wish any evil upon you or do any bad upon you. However,
well, what'll get you there, Chris?
If you are to do anything to my family, to my friends, to somebody that I care about, or to somebody that may have a disability, or somebody that is in a lesser position than you financially or in life or in health, and you are cruel to that person, then that is a way to get anger out of me. And that could be physical, or that could be just making that person's life a living hell for, you know, to try to teach them.
Well, you know, Chris, you said, I mean, I get you on the family, but you said that anyone who does anything bad to anyone who's less fortunate than them. And there's people doing horrible things to people who are less fortunate than them all the time, every day. How are you doing anything to try to get revenge on those people? Or are you going out and getting into fist fights?
Not really. I'm 36 years old now. Those days are kind of behind me. I don't get into situations too much where physical altercation. I think COVID's kind of done that too. Like, there's not a whole lot of social settings where that can happen right now, if you think about it.
Well, listen, Chris, I like the philosophy, and I hope that you continue to defend your family's honor.
Geck, I appreciate everything you do. I very frequently lay in bed at night, and right before I fall asleep, you're the last person I listen to. I enjoy your wisdom. I enjoy your take on life and just your general interest in other people. You're an interesting individual, and thank you for that.
Well, thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate that.
Take care. Bye.
You have a good one.
Therapy Geckos on the line, taking your phone calls every night. Therapy Geckos doing it right. He's teaching you how to live your life, but he's not really an expert.